Right guys, we got more astounding hypocrisy here that I love and hate. I love it because it's funny, but I hate it because it affects our lives, as you all know. It's actually hypocrisy on many levels and from many people, including the NHS, government, the whole eco movement and more, so it's a bonus round you could say. First though, the NHS, who you know are some of the most prolific virtue signallers known to mankind. It's actually beyond the joke how bad they are, but now it seems they're openly doing it at the cost of lives. Yes, to be a bit more greener, they won't see you, and of course the NHS needs to factor in traffic jams that might affect globalists from attending the summit on time. For this reason, the NHS in Glasgow and Clyde have stopped or limited in-person appointments during this summit. You know, the summit to save the planet from pollution while all these people fly in on private jets and use electric cars charged up by diesel generators. Which obviously, I'm no engineer, but surely generating electricity with portable generators will be less efficient than just burning the fuel in an engine. I could be wrong, but it certainly seems that way to me. Clearly, the old car thing is just a bit more virtue signalling bullshit that really deserves its own video in itself. In fact, I'm sure plenty of people will make one. The point about people's health is far more important to me. I mean, it's why the government have done all they've done in the past 18 months, is it not? Obviously, the funny thing is, if they can do hospital appointments and GP appointments remotely, then surely they can do this COP26 the same way. I mean, it wouldn't cost us nearly as much as it's going to holding this thing in Glasgow, would it? Now, I'm not sure the exact figures that it's costing, but hundreds of millions of pounds is something that I would bet, maybe even more than that. I know, for instance, £30 million was going on security or something like that. But here it states peak virtue signalling, in-person doctor visits reduced in Glasgow to clear traffic for COP26 climate summit. Naturally, they got a picture of old Boris Johnson doing his little elbow bump with Beijing Biden and his wife. All on their little Build Back Better movement, as you know. Now it goes on about next Sunday all these leaders flying in around the world on their private jets, which is something we know, and blatant hypocrisy considering what they're doing it for. It states here though, to help facilitate the meeting, local NHS bosses have told some patients they will need to sacrifice seeing their doctors in person to free up the roads for the incoming globalists. So there you see, the NHS is not treating the people who pay its fucking way. They're actually saying these world leaders coming in is much more important than your health, despite them obviously telling you to stay at home to save the NHS for most of the last 18 months. I would say it's taking the piss, but let's be honest, the powers that be, NHS and all of that, are pissing in your pocket telling you it's raining on a daily basis. It says here, while the devolved government in Scotland has determined that the Chinese coronavirus is still so dangerous that vaccine passports are required, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde had sent letters to patients informing them that their appointments will need to be held virtually during the summit. Which obviously, it doesn't even matter what condition you've got or anything like that, it's just taking the piss in my book. As I said earlier, it's something that they're doing far too often now. So much for people's health after the last year or so. But you know what, let's actually hear from the NHS up there and their excuse for all of this. In a statement, the NHS for Greater Glasgow and Clyde said, the Glasgow City Transport Plan for COP26 requires the city to reduce road traffic substantially ahead of and during the event. As part of our contribution to that, we have moved face-to-face appointments to different times and increased virtual appointments. All urgent appointments and those for people with cancer will continue. Well, you don't know if they're fucking urgent until you've seen them and diagnosed the problem with them, you bunch of tossers. This is just a complete load of bollocks, and like I said, is more virtue signalling so they can say that Glasgow's a green city, no doubt. And then of course it is completely forgetting how much disruption to the local area this bullshit is gonna cause. How many people are not gonna be able to get in hospital in time or something like that? How many things are people gonna miss because this bullshit's happening? The NHS don't ever seem to care about what the public want, who, like I said, are paying their wages, but these globalist fuckpigs, they'll certainly sing and dance for, you can bet. Essentially though, this is just more proof that this is a time when elitist fuckpigs will run around telling you what to do while they do the complete opposite, and obviously the NHS is well in with that. But remember, you must do as you're told and protect the NHS, you know, our new religion as many people call it.